Kaylin.
Emily, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Let's get started. All right, so why don't we start off by you telling me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a graduating senior at Western Washington University. I'll be graduating in June with honors. I'm earning my Bachelor of Science degree in kinesiology with a pre-physical therapy specialization and an anthropology minor. My broad educational goals, I think, are making me excel in the physical therapy field because I have this medical background and this very social and cultural background as well. I got very interested in physical therapy after my grandmother received miraculous treatment. She originally was in just an assisted living that sat her in front of the TV, and it allowed her brain and body to go to mush. But after realizing this, my family moved her to an assisted living facility with physical therapy. Although she could only do very minimal exercises, she had a great response to it, and her body, and as well as her mind, her memory improved greatly, and her ability to hold a conversation came back. So that was very inspiring, and gave me this huge interest between the connection of the brain and the body that is a big part of physical therapy. I have experience in outpatient sports physical therapy offices, but I'm looking to get into the hospital, so I'm hoping Overlake can do that for me.
Awesome, thank you for sharing. Why do you want this job?
Well, I am graduating this June, but I don't want to stop learning. So being in a hospital is a great learning environment. So I'm excited to do that, especially in such a reputable hospital. Although I have this outpatient sports physical therapy clinic experience, I want to get into the hospital to broaden my horizons. In the outpatient hospital or outpatient clinic, we often saw post-surgical patients with maybe an ACL injury or a tendon tear in the Achilles. But I'm interested in maybe getting into the neurological or vestibular treatments that are offered at Overlake, which I haven't been very exposed to, but I'm very interested in. Not only am I excited to learn about new treatments, I'm very excited to work with new people, because new people always bring different ideas and insight into a working environment, especially when I'm trying to learn.
Awesome. Yeah. Why should we hire you?
I am not looking for a job where I just go, get my work done, and want to leave. I'm there to excel in my work, and I'm always looking for new ways to improve myself. When I was in the outpatient clinics that I worked at before, I often held the position of the physical therapist aide, where I wiped down tables after treatments, I supplied hot and cold packs, and I directed the patients through their exercises safely and effectively. So that will give me, I think I have a step up from the competition with that. And then I also have my anthropology background, which will supply me with the multicultural sensitivity and awareness, as well as the social skill that I need to work with such a wide variety of individuals, especially at Overlake, because the population around it is so diverse. So I think that'll give me a heads up over the other candidates.
Perfect. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, hopefully I am enrolled or graduated from a physical therapist school. I'm hoping to go to UW because it's such a great program. I love working with children, not only in the physical therapy setting, but I've also been a nanny for a long time, so I just love being around them. They're a very fun population to work with, and maybe have the opportunistic personality that you might not get with older crowds. But I would love to work with children in any kind of setting, but I think eventually I would like to work with underprivileged children, because I believe that everyone should be given the opportunity to live their best life, and if monetary reasons are holding back children from their health, I disagree. And I would love to improve their situation.
Awesome. What are your strengths?
Well, I am very flexible and adaptable to maybe unwanted or unexpected situations. I realize when it's worth not worth spending any energy getting upset or flustered or frustrated at the things you can't control around you. A good example of this was when I was an undergraduate TA for a laboratory section of human anatomy and physiology. As TAs, we were expected to set up the laboratory practical exams to come up with questions, put out the dissections and the models of all the concepts we had been learning about. But the day of the final lab practical exam setup, only the professor, another TA, and myself showed up. And it was frustrating because there were approximately like 7 people not there that were supposed to be. And although I was initially frustrated, I realized that the work still needed to be done. So with the help of the other 2, we got the work done and the lab practical exam went very smoothly. Not only did the lab practical exam go great, it also increased my rapport with the professor herself, and we have a very strong relationship now, and she's offered me other leadership positions.
Awesome, thank you. What are your weaknesses?
I used to have a very big problem projecting myself in big groups. I used to be afraid of making mistakes, even if it was as simple as raising my hand in class, even when I was little, and getting the question wrong. As I've gotten older, I've realized that standing in the back doesn't get you where you want to be. And especially since starting college, I've found myself inching my way up to the front of the classroom and having class-wide discussions and sharing my ideas confidently. I've found also that having this confidence to express your own ideas gets you a lot farther. And now I've been offered positions by professors to lead classes myself. And I have presented laboratory material in human anatomy and physiology to large groups of people, which is something I would have never thought I could do only a couple of years ago, and now I'm doing it confidently. So I do find myself holding back sometimes, and I have to remind myself that it is not worth it.
Awesome, thank you. Do you attend any religious services on the weekends or any time throughout the week?
If you're asking me if I can work at night or on weekends, the answer is yes. I do not let my personal life get in the way of my professional life unless it's an emergency.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And one final question. Do you have any questions for me?
What characteristics do you think are vital to this position, and do you think I fill those necessities?
Yes, so here at Overlake Hospital, we definitely want employees who exhibit gentle and kind behavior, but also have a firm understanding of the field they're working in. We want our nurses and our doctors and our physical therapists and every other department to know what they're talking about, want them to be accredited, but we also want them to be sensitive because all of our patients here are obviously not at their best, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So we want people who are understanding, kind, and gentle. And from what we've talked about, you are a very strong candidate.
Thank you.
So, yes, of course. But anyway, unless you have any other questions, we will get back to you probably through telephone in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. And all that information can be found on my resume with my phone and email. All right. Thank you. It was very nice speaking to you, and I'm excited to hear from you in the future.
Yes, me too.
Thank you
for coming in.
Yes, have a good day.
You too.
That was good.